How's it going, everyone? AFC Finners on one of the best days in the footballing calendar, third round Saturday of the FA Cup, and today is a very special day as we have come all the way up to freezing cold Yorkshire. Look at all this snow, but thankfully it is game on at today's destination, Elland Road. Luciano and Ravenelli, Leeds fans, are with us, as of course is Tomaldo.
Hi.
Tomaldo, show them this thing you've got. It's a bit weird. I don't know why he's making this big fuss. He's bought this bottle of a random chicken. Like, I don't get what all the fuss is. Good grief, it's you again. Yeah. So just been shopping in the White Rose Business Centre, got a nice bagel. Time to head to the ground. What a day this is going to be.
We are so proud. We shouted out loud, we love you, Leeds. Leeds. Leeds.
Here we are, boys. Raven, give us a slide.
Huh?
Give us a slide.
Those are the bit where the ice is going.
Oh! Hey! Beautiful. Lovely wintry Yorkshire.
I feel like, you know, when you had Heelys as a kid.
Yeah. Right, these stocks me going for this, hang on. Ooh! Yeah, I'm gonna die. And there it is. Beauty and majesty of Elland Road. There are two designated Leeds supporters for the day. Raven, you picked up from the Leeds shop in the shopping centre, didn't you? Very nice. Luke's got his Leeds kit somewhere with that one, with whatever that badge is. And you got a new one today, didn't you?
I did. Got the home shirt, 32.50.
Beautiful stuff.
Solid price.
Meanwhile, today is Bellini's birthday, so I bought her a puppuccino from M&S. She'll be very happy. Happy birthday, Bellini. Useful, we can slightly see inside. So Luciano, whilst we wait, tell us about the last time you came to Elland Road.
Last time we came to Elland Road was at the start of the season. We came in August for the League Cup first round. We played Middlesbrough at home, and then the game ended, went home again, and I don't think there's anything else to report for that.
What's your best memory at this ground?
Best, in Bielsa's first year we came, and Leeds played at home against Reading, and we were 1-0 up. Stuart Dallas scored, and in the 89th minute, one of their defenders got fouled in the box, and the referee gave Reading a penalty. 89th minute, might have been Jan Morgan, I think, took it. Bailey Peacock foul saved it, and that would be the loudest I've ever heard Elland Road. I would actually say penalty save last minute, secured the 3 points, and
let's hope it's a good day today. If Mellier's playing, he could redeem himself by doing something like that. We'll find out inside. Tomaldo, how are you feeling? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's cold.
It's always. Yeah, I was frantically checking the weather, panicking, but the game is on, and I can't wait. Ravenelli, there you are.
Hi.
Right, I was just asking Luke. Last time you came here, you said it was about 15 years ago.
Probably was, yeah.
What-
It's bad, isn't it?
What
Shameful.
happened?
I genuinely couldn't fucking tell you. I couldn't tell you who it was against. All I know is me and my dad came.
All right, let's switch around. First game here.
First game here was a 1-1 draw with Notts Forest. I think it was Forest. The season after we got relegated from the Prem. So, what's that, 04?
I see.
It might have been 2005, but then I think it was the end of the season.
Has it changed much in those 20 years?
No, nothing has changed.
How you
Oh,
fit?
no, tell a lie. They've done the toilets up, apparently.
Ah, about bloody time, eh? Are you feeling excited? What a day it's going to be.
I'm so excited.
Gentlemen, let's continue our customary circuit. You asked, you said you wanted to list off all the games you've been
oh yeah.
to here, so
do that.
lead on with the wall of fame behind you.
Okay. So we had 1-1 at home against Brighton in our first time in Championship. Then we had a 2-0 win against Southend, a 3-1 win against Wolves pre-season friendly in 2010, I think. 2-1 at home against Swansea, 5-2 win against Doncaster. We had a 3-3 against Blackburn, 1-0 against Portsmouth. We had a 2-1 loss against Blackburn. That was annoying. That one ruined my record. Dreadful referee. Dreadful. We had a We had a 0-0 on the final day against Rotherham. That was fun. We had a 1-0 loss against Nottingham Forest. Now we're into 2016, I think. We had a 3-0 win here against Preston. Jermaine Beckford came on for Preston. That was fun. Next season, we had a 1-1 draw against Sunderland. That was the one game I saw in the Paul Heckingbottom era, one game too many. Then we had the 1-0 win here against Bolton. Then we're in the Premier League. We won Premier League. I saw us win 3-0 here against Chesterfield. League Cup came here the next week, saw us lose 3-0 to Liverpool, and then came here earlier this season, saw us lose 3-0 to Middlesbrough. So hoping it's going back up now.
Fantastic.
Hoping going to turn that form around.
I couldn't be bothered to count that, but fair play. That's an amazing list. Your footballogy must look amazing.
I feel that in.
Cheers. Mr. William Bremner. Legend. A stall on the other side, just from here, selling pin badges. Got this one for £4. Perfect club crest. They don't have these exact ones in the club shop, weirdly enough. Onwards. It was a year of mixed fortunes to the Dons in 1972. Don Corleone lost his son, Sonny, but it was Don Revie who was the triumphant Don, as Leeds won the FA Cup at Wembley. Even the snow is dressed in Leeds colours to view the mural. I've not even seen inside this stadium, I love it already. Just the identity, the love and care, it's beautiful. It's going to get very high rating. Oh, look at that. Tom was wondering why they're using a Pixar lamp here. It's a beautiful night for FA Cup. So as I experienced a sudden urge to go to Flamingo Land, we're about to go inside Elland Road. What an adventure this is going to be. But before we do, let's find out a bit about today's hosts, Leeds United. Leeds United were formed in 1919, following the disbanding of their predecessor, Leeds City, who were forced to go out of business by the Football League following allegations of illegal payments to players after the First World War. The new Leeds joined the Midland League later that year and purchased Elland Road. They were elected to the Football League in 1920 and won promotion to the First Division in 1924. They were relegated 3 years later, but won immediate promotion and finished 5th in the top flight the next season. However, they were relegated in 1931 and sealed immediate promotion again the year after. The post-war era started miserably for the club, with them reaching just 18 points, and they were relegated. The 1950s saw young players such as Jackie Charlton and John Charles come through the ranks, and they returned to top flight in 1956. A fire at Elland Road caused severe damage to the stadium and forced them to sell John Charles to Juventus for a world record fee of £65,000 to raise funds. In 1961, their fortunes would change forever. Former England international Don Revie will be appointed as manager. The club now back in the second division, hopes are not high, but Revie brought in the changes. He was keen to build a family atmosphere at the club, and under his stewardship, he would have many long-term servants such as Billy Bremner, Norman Hunter and Terry Cooper, who would work wonders for the club. Revie changed the club's colours to the all-white of Real Madrid, and he was renowned for his meticulous attention to detail in the build-up to games. He focused on youth development and high fitness, and his methods would soon pay off. They won promotion to the top flight in 1964, and the next season came close to a double, finishing second in the league and losing 2-1 to Liverpool in their first FA Cup final. They finished second again the next season and also reached the semi-finals of the Intercities Fair Cup. The acquisition of forward Mick Jones for £100,000 helped them to step over the line, as they finally won their first major trophy in the 1968 League Cup final by defeating Arsenal 1-0. They went on to also win the Intercities Fairs Cup later that year, defeating Ferencváros over 2 legs in the final. With the first trophies in the bag, more soon followed. In 1969, they finally won the First Division, which included records of the most points won with 67, most wins with 27, fewest defeats of 2, and it also included a 34-game unbeaten run that stretched into the next season. They came close to treble the campaign after, but finished second, lost the FA Cup final to Chelsea, and the European Cup semi-final to Celtic. They won the second Intercities Fairs Cup in 1971, and the next campaign, on the third attempt, they finally won the FA Cup, with a goal from Alan Clark helping them defeat Arsenal at Wembley. They reached the FA Cup final again the next season, the second division Sunderland shocked them to win the trophy. They also reached the Cup Winners' Cup final, but were defeated there too by AC Milan. They won the second top flight title in 1974, which would be Don Revie's parting gift as he left to take the England job. He was replaced by Brian Clough, who had a strong rivalry with Revie. Clough disliked what he saw as Revie's dirty style of play, and he felt the Leeds side were cheats. Clough failed to win over the Leeds squad, and turmoil in the dressing room saw him sacked after just 44 days in charge. Jimmy Armfield took over and guided Leeds to European Cup final, but they were defeated by Bayern Munich amongst suspicious refereeing. Leeds' great side began to break up, and the great era truly came to an end when they were relegated in 1982. They languished in the second division, and managerial appointments of club legends Eddie Gray and Billy Bremner were unable to stop the rot. However, the appointment of Howard Wilkinson would be something of a second dawn for the club. He guided Leeds to a second division title in 1989, and 2 years later they won the top flight title, becoming the last ever team to win the old First Division. Wilkinson's Leeds would struggle to challenge in the new Premier League and lost the 1996 League Cup final to Aston Villa. Wilkinson would be dismissed, but later on, David O'Leary had success as a manager around the turn of the century, not finishing outside the top 5, and he guided them to semi-finals of the Champions League. However, Chairman Peter Ridsdale had taken out huge loans on the basis of Leeds qualifying for the Champions League. After 2 seasons without qualifying, they were no longer making the money needed. They were forced to sell Rio Ferdinand to Manchester United for $30 million, and managerial appointments of both Terry Venables and later Peter Reid were unable to stop the decline. With the club skint, they were relegated from the Premier League in 2004. They were forced to sell their training ground and stadium along with the majority of their squad. They would reach the playoff final in 2005 but were defeated by Watford. They later were relegated to League One and entered administration. Amongst points deductions, they nearly went out of business. In 2010 though, they achieved a shock in the FA Cup, with a Jermaine Beckford goal sealing a 1-0 win over Manchester United at Old Trafford. As well as this, Simon Grayson guided them to promotion back to a championship. A lengthy period in the championship followed, during which they experienced a tumultuous period under the ownership of Massimo Cellino. The Italian had 8 managers during his 3 years in charge, including the surprise appointment of former Forest Green manager Dave Hockaday. Andrea Rizzani purchased the club in 2017, and Marcelo Bielsa was appointed in 2018. It was a masterstroke, with him taking them to the playoffs in his first season, before winning the championship in his second to end 16 years away from the Premier League, done in style by finishing 10 points clear of West Brom. Bielsa took Leeds to 9th in the Premier League, but the next season saw a poor run of results that cost him his job. Jesse Marsh would keep them up, but he too was dismissed the next season amongst a relegation battle, and was followed by Javi Gracia and then Sam Allardyce. Leeds were unable to stave off relegation, and the return to the Premier League was over. Daniel Farke was appointed in 2023 and guided them to the playoff final, where they lost to Southampton. However, a great season so far has seen them top of the table, and the Yorkshire side are hopeful that the Premier League will soon be their home once again. Overall, they have won 2 second division titles, 3 top flight titles, 1 League Cup, 2 Intercities Fairs Cups, and 1 FA Cup. And a bit of trivia: after a string of near misses, Don Revie felt this was down to a curse that had been placed on Elland Road. A superstitious man, he hired a member of the local Romany community to lift the curse. Paranoid or not, the ends justified the means, as they won their first 2 major trophies the next season. So those are our hosts, Leeds United. Let's have a look inside their home, Elland Road. Well, up north, you've got to get a pie, haven't you? Let's give it a try. Here we are. Oh my goodness. Just what I thought, surely this evening couldn't get any better. The pie is delicious. Those old-fashioned seats, they're beautiful. Hello boys.
I told you it hadn't been updated.
Not complaining, it's beautiful. Can't come to a game in Yorkshire and not get Yorkshire tea. That's dangerous. You got the pies too. What do you think, Tom?
I haven't had it yet.
Steak and ale. Enjoy. Good go. He's back and ready to go. Any good? Good stuff. Woo. There we go. Here we are for Leeds United. Stand up and sing for Leeds United. They are the greatest in the land. Every day, we're all gonna sing. forever. And we've had our ups and downs. We're gonna stay forever. At least until the world stops going round. Good evening. Yorkshire FA Cup action. Let's do this, boys. It's been a pleasure ground hopping with you tonight. Lutes. Midway through the first half, it remains 0-0. It's been fairly eventful so far. I'd say Leeds are definitely a better side. It feels like they could break through soon, but as it stands 0-0, not sure that's a shock. Having fun? Oh, having fun.
Biding our time.
Biding our time. I think Leeds will still score 0-0 for now. A half Dulles dishwater ends 0-0, but hopefully Leeds can rise in the second half and do something, because they've had the better chances but not really done anything concrete with it, and that's why it remains 0-0. Hopefully a better second half, but we're having fun. Doesn't narrow it down. Oh well, at least the pigeon detectives are on. It's a blast from the past. You're going out with half time 0-0. Selfish cues being missed to start the second half, but here we go.
Number 17,
At long last, the deadlock has been broken, and it's been broken by probably the best player on the pitch, Largi Ramazani. He's been superb generating chances. He was creating all the movement in the first half. Cross has come in from the left, he's jumped up, rose like a salmon, headed it in. It's not a 0-0, 1-0. On 0 Leeds. Leeds United through to the fourth round. So at full time, Leeds do take the 1-0 victory, and they'll be heading into the fourth round of the FA Cup. Not the most enthralling game, but still a really fun afternoon. And fair play to Harrogate, I think they fought decently. It wasn't an incredible performance from either side, but I think Leeds did the job they needed to do. Probably could have been a bit more clinical and maybe a bit clumsy in their attacks, but they did what was did what was needed to do. At the end of the day, they got through to the next round. Full time, 1-0. So what a fun evening that has been. Ronaldo, Ravenelli, Luciano, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for your planning, driving and everything. It's been fantastic. Not the best game, but a fantastic experience to tick off one of the best grounds in the country, and such a good evening. You know, I've never been to Leeds in any way before, so it's great to take that off, and what a wonderful experience. So thank you all for sharing this with me. I've had a great time. It's been a pleasure. We're heading home now. We'll all be switching on our electric blankets and getting a few hot chocolates in, I think. Yeah. But I shall be hanging out with Bellini tonight, as it's a birthday. I'll give her the puppuccino I got her. She'll be most pleased once I tell her about the score. Thank you all for watching. Time to rate the experience. So we will start off with the welcome, and always very positive. I think the identity of the club is everywhere. You can really see what it means to the city, and members of staff were all really friendly, from the car park to the turnstiles to the kiosks. They were really good, polite members of staff that made you feel very welcome. And some people have given Leeds a reputation as a very hostile club, but honestly I didn't see any of that today. Thought fans we were with were very pleasant. There was a man behind me who had his son on his knee who couldn't stop asking questions, and it was quite wholesome. It's definitely a place that you really feel welcome on board, and we didn't feel wrong as outsiders. But you know, how much the club cares about protecting its identity. There's all the murals and stuff of legends of the past, statues, just everything around the stadium was really well managed and organised, and it was a great place to watch a game. Just the buzz you felt around the stadium was absolutely fantastic. So felt so comfortable there, so excited, and I think they welcomed it with open arms. Really nice fans to be amongst, and I really felt welcome and had a great time as a result. So I'll give the welcome a 9 out of 10. Food and drink, it was half decent options. I think the pie that I had was good, but it was just a bit tricky. I think what they gave wasn't quite enough, because I think if you have like a pie the size that I had, a lot of people will need something alongside it, like chips or something, to have a full meal. So like half the time I went in, there was a massive queue. They didn't even have any of the pies left, so I had to get a Whisper bar. Tom said at one point he went to get a burger, and then the person in front of him bought the last 4, and just as like they ran out. I thought, considering it was nearly a sold-out game, they would have prepared for something like that and got a lot of food in. But this has been something I've noticed at some clubs, they just don't have enough food preparations. It's like, well, you would think they would prepare. They get big crowds every week. So yeah, not the best organised on the food and drink front, but there were at least like a lot of things outside. I just wish, had I known the limited array of options inside, it would have been nice. I would probably have got something outside the ground instead. For a club of that level, I thought the options were a bit limited. In terms of drinks, it was quite good. Just how vague the information was as well. I just said pie, hot dog and stuff on there. Just could have done with a bit more information on there. I think they just need something else aside, like chips. So yeah, food doesn't fill you up too much. So and what I had was decent quality, but yeah, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I'll probably give the food and drink a 5 out of 10. Atmosphere, that Marching On Together rendition, I've been to many grounds, but that's one of the best things I've ever seen at a ground. It was absolutely breathtaking to see, and that trumps so many things I've seen at football grounds. And like, again, considering there was a tie against the League 2 team, it was just absolutely incredible. Like, imagine what that's like for an absolutely massive game. So fair play, they started off really well with that. I think the atmosphere did go flat at points, and again, I'm going to mention this a lot in this section. Like a game against the League 2 side in the third round, but like, when they did sing, it was decent, and it didn't go flat for extensively long periods. I think there were just points where I think sort of after Marching On Together, it did sort of nosedive quite a bit. When it came back up, it was good, and the fans definitely got behind the team. I thought there were like extended periods of quiet that probably wouldn't happen at, you know, fair play for them for selling the amount of tickets they did. I thought that was superb. You know, still got behind the team, still made good noise, and it was like a pleasure to be amongst. I just think there were sort of periods where the quiet dipped, and I thought maybe points could have been better, but they definitely got behind the team. Really positive, really enjoyable. Marching On Together, put that on your bucket list because that was incredible. So I'll probably give the atmosphere 7.5 out of 10. Stadium, it lived up to my expectations very much. It's an absolutely beautiful place to watch football, and I was just in absolute awe when I got in and looked out. It was incredible, and I love how much they've kept the soul of it, like those wooden seats behind me, and just generally what it looks inside. I like that it looks now what it probably looked like back in the 70s. I think a lot of people might think, oh, get with the times and all that, which is fair. I think there's definitely bits of the stadium that need renovating, lick of paint and stuff, but I just love how they've kept the soul, how the sort of old-fashioned brickwork is on so much of the stadium around it. I thought that was fantastic because it just makes you, again, feel like the club is very proud of its past, and it doesn't want to lose the soul, lose the connections it has with that. So I think really well thought out. There were just, yeah, like I said, a bit of areas that could have done with a lick of paint, and I think they'll probably want to do renovations to sort of some parts of the stadium, which I understand the plans that are underway, but it is still a fantastic stadium, and you get such a good view, such a brilliant place to watch football, and the sound carries so well. So it definitely lives up to its reputation as one of the best stadiums in England. I think it was absolutely fantastic, beautiful, with like the full crowd that they had, very comfortable seats, and where we were, we basically had a table in front of us because we were in the front row, so it's nice to be able to lean forward and pop things on the row if need be. But yeah, it was absolutely brilliant place to watch football. Can't complain too much about the seats we had. Plenty of room. Overall, a fantastic stadium. Definitely lived up to the hype. I will give it a 9 out of 10. And finally, value for money, thought was pretty good overall, to be fair. The fact it was only 20 quid a ticket, I know that isn't what it normally would be. It was probably reduced because it was an FA Cup game, but they still got loads of people to come out for it, so that price reduction was very smart. Thank you, Luciano, for booking them. But I didn't have to spend too much money, and I thought that what I did pay for was pretty decent. Like, the programme was about 4 quid. Overall, spent just short of a tenner on food at the ground, which, considering my issues I had with the food, it wasn't too bad. Like, it was pretty affordable to get tea, coffee, whatever you wanted. So I think, again, considering how many people they get, it would be very easy for them to say, oh, we're getting thousands of people, let's just skyrocket the prices. But no, fairly reasonable for the level of club they're at. And I think there's definitely other clubs I've been to where it would be really putting people out of pocket. But the prices are pretty decent. As far as I can see from there, you wouldn't be ripped off for what you're getting. So I'll probably give the value for money a 9 out of 10. So what a fantastic day that was in the FA Cup. Seeing that it's likely Leeds to be playing Millwall in the next round at the time of recording this. So that could be interesting if that is what happens if Millwall beat Dagenham and Redbridge. But fantastic day. Me and Luke have been talking about doing a game at Elland Road together for a very long time. When we lived together a long time ago, we tried to book tickets and it was just impossible. Like, they sold out like at the snap of a finger. So it's fantastic to have done this, and I had such a lovely time. That was a huge tick for the bucket list. I'm so happy I've been able to do that, and that's a day that I remember fondly. It's one of the best ground hopping adventures we've had. Not just the stadium, but like the day out overall was just a barrel of laughs. I had so much fun on the long journey there, and I'll definitely remember it fondly. So Tomaldo, Ravenelli, Luciano, thank you all for such a wonderful day, member experience. I'm glad, Luciano Ravenelli, you could see your side win. And also to all three of you, thank you for driving through those difficult terrain. There was so much snow and ice everywhere. All three of you had to drive today, and thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't easy. From Raven's place in Warwick to Leeds, it was an absolute blanket of snow, and Tomaldo was driving us home. It was pitch black, so thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't easy, but well worth it for an incredible day. So thank you all for driving, and most importantly, thank you all for a wonderful day. That was Elland Road. What a wonderful experience that was. All the best to Leeds in the rest of the FA Cup. If you'd like to see more days out like this, you can subscribe to my Patreon below and help support me for as little as £1 a month. I've been AFC Finners. Thank you all for watching. Stick with us as we go ground to ground. See you next time.